just as in human medicine, there are some pests and diseases that we just haven't found a reliable and effective organic, botanical, or biological material to treat some things with. American elm is one such case. This is Ulmus americana, a street side tree in my hometown. And there's no program really to care for it. There's no budget for it right now. We're still working on awareness and fundraising, and we got a ways to go. There's still a lot of trees. Some people don't even believe that the American elm still exists in the landscape. So here it is. There are several. In this case, we're using a systemic fungicide to protect against Dutch elm disease, which is a fungus that causes that dieback. Neither the disease nor the tree are Dutch, actually. The scientist that identified the pathogen, it was a woman back in the early part of the 20th century, so it's called Dutch elm disease. It actually originates from Asia, and of course it came here in the early 20th century because of global trade. Like so many other things, and kind of like the smallpox with the Native Americans, the American elm had no natural defenses for Dutch elm disease. So we've lost 100 million of them on streetscapes alone, not to mention out in the woods and what have you. Still, the American elm is a pretty tough tree. So this one is still here, and we're protecting it. We're watching very carefully this time of year in early July for what we call flagging. If you look up into the crown of an American elm, you can see it go to yellow first and then often quickly to brown, especially in periods of stress, which we have right now. It's been very dry. Fortunately, we had a little bit of water in the last few weeks. So I'm using a system on this one called the Tree Defend Injector. And basically, it's like an IV. We drill holes. It is a wound. We drill, in this case, there's 15 little 1/4-inch holes around the base of the flare of this tree, and then connect them all with tubing and put a little bit of pressure behind it from the canister that holds our solution. And then most of the work is done by the tree in the process of a natural translocation via photosynthesis. The tree is actually, believe it or not, is evaporating water in order to draw up more, along with the nutrition that is provided by the soil and by the beneficial microbes living therein. So it's a whole process. And on a very hot day, the tree will actually shut down because it's not able to pull much water out of the soil, especially during times of drought. So the fact that we've had a little bit of water recently is a very, very good thing. And this tree is taking its medicine. Depending on the conditions, it can take anywhere from 15 minutes to 10 hours. It's a bit of a crapshoot, but something that we're passionate about. And again, always searching for the least toxic solution. In this case, what's very nice with a systemic, and we're using a macro infusion system here. So basically, like I say, like an IV, but it's a systemic. So we're not spraying. There is no non-target activity here. We're not getting the adjacent trees because we're doing some sort of a broadcast of a material. It's very targeted, very specific to this tree, and will be distributed by the tree in its own vascular system to take out that fungus and protect against it. So thanks for your interest today, protecting an American elm with a systemic fungicide.